What's up, folks? I'm Dwayne, and this is Blackboard Gaming, where we teach you about all these great board games that are out there, waiting to be played by you and yours.
I'm a simple man, don't wanna complication.
Hey, everybody. Today, I want to share with you my list of board games that I'm anticipating playing in 2025. Now, there have been a lot of videos where people are sharing their top 10 board games that are scheduled to come out in 2025 that they want to play. But my list is going to be a little different. There are a lot of great board games that come out every year, like 2,000 board games. But there's also board games in the past years that are really great. Now, if you've watched our video where we talk about our top 10 new to us board games that we played in 2024, you'll see those games. So, like I said, my list is going to be a little different. I'm going to tell you about 12 board games. 4 of those board games are scheduled to come out in 2025, and I'm excited to play them. 4 of those board games are currently in the collection, but have not hit the table. So I'm definitely going to get those played this year. And then there are 4 board games that have come out in past year that I am interested in getting to the table. So I'm going to make it a point to play those this year, hopefully in the earlier half of this year. So without wasting any time, let's get right to it. So the first game is going to be an honorable mention, okay? You're thinking like, wait a minute, you're doing 12 games. How is this an honorable mention? Well, this is an honorable mention because it is a game that's scheduled to come out in 2025, but I've already played it. I demoed it. And that game is called Above and Below Haunted. Now, I demoed this game at PAX Unplugged this past December. And I am looking forward to playing this game. Above and Below was one of the first games, that had like storytelling elements in the game that I played since I got into the board game community. And it has introduced me to Ryan Lockett and Red Raven Games, and some of his other games I really, really, really love. Like you're gonna see there's another game that's gonna be mentioned on this list. And so in Above and Below, it's pretty much the sequel, but it adds ghosts and it adds boats or whatever. And sometimes you get characters that are haunted. So the buildings that you build up end up being haunted, and you want to make sure you exorcise the ghosts and everything. And I really, really enjoyed my demo of this game. So that's my honorable mention, Above and Below Haunted. So let's get started. And one thing I want to point out, I don't have pictures for the games. And like I said, I have not played these games. So I'm going to get through them as quick as I can. So number 12 is a game that has come out in past years, and it's fresh on my mind because when I go to my Friday night board game group, I see it on the shelf across from me, and I'm always intrigued by it, even though it is a mechanic that I really don't enjoy, and that is area control. And the game I'm talking about is Blood Rage. Now, Blood Rage is one of 3 games. There's Blood Rage, there's Rising Sun, and I think the other one's Ankh. And pretty much it's dudes on the map where you're playing in a Viking world. You take on the role of Vikings, and you're fighting each other. But your actions are dictated by these cards that are drafted. So it has a Euro aspect to it. And this game is rated number 55 on the Board Game Geek popular games list. And so every time I go to my Friday night board game group, I look at it, and I was like, one day I'm going to say, hey, can we, on my turn, when it's my turn to pick, I say, I want to try out Blood Rage just to see, Like I say, area control, dudes on the map is not my cup of tea, but I definitely want to explore, scientific, So that's my number 12, Blood Rage. Now, speaking of my Friday night board game group, we are in the middle of a legacy game. We're playing Clank Legacy Season 2, Darkest Magic, Now, one of my favorite board game experiences was playing Clank Legacy Season 1. Acquisitions Incorporated. It was so epic. We had so much fun. That's the only legacy game that I played all the way through. And so, like I said, we're playing through season 2. I've played base Clank. I played Clank in Space. Like I said, I played both of the legacy games. But there's one game that is in the collection that I have not played. And that is this game right here. You know, I can show you this. Clank Catacombs. Now, Clank Catacombs is, you know, in the other Clanks, the board's already prepared for you. You know, in the Legacy, you add stickers and everything. But in this one, it's tile laying. So when you explore, you're placing tiles out onto the board. So the game can be different every single time. Now, it said that this is the best version of Clank. So I'm definitely going to be getting this to the table in the next couple months. All right. Now, let's jump to, so I've talked about an old school game, then a game that's in the collection, then I'm going to jump to a game that's coming out in 2025 that I'm interested in, and that is a game from Stonemaier Games called Vantage. Now, in Vantage, it's an open world cooperative game. I think it goes to 1 to 6, it goes up to 1 to 6 players, and pretty much we crash landed on this planet and we're exploring. So that's what I really like. I like games that give you that exploring aspect. The thing is, your specific character can only see that part because you're separated and everything. So you can only see what you can see, and then the other players can only see what they can see, where they're at, the location that they are on the planet. And I'm curious of how that works. You know, so Stonemaier Games is one of my favorite, board game companies. Viticulture is in my top 10 of the year. I love Tapestry. I love Wingspan, stuff like that. So I'm very interested. And the fact that Jamie Stegmaier is designing this, you know, there's that trust level that goes up a little bit, you know. So I really want to try this game out, and that is Vantage. So now we're going to jump back. I got my list here. So we're going to jump back to old school games that I want to try out. So I just spoke about a legacy game, Clank Legacy. The one legacy game that I've been wanting to play, and I've been trying to get my wife to play, is a game that got her into the hobby, and that's Pandemic. And I want to play Pandemic Legacy Season 1. You know, and I know there are 3 of them, but I hear Season 1 is the best one. And I've been wanting to play Season 1. But my wife's not on board with the legacy aspect just yet. So I might can get her into it. But I also have another board game group who maybe we can start playing this game. You know, and I definitely want to play this game. Because like I said, I ain't getting any younger. I really want to play it because I hear the Pandemic Season 1 is epic. You know. So that's that game. That's my number, 12, 10. That's my number 9. So my number 8 is a game that I have in the collection. Speaking of kind of a legacy, it's not a legacy, but a campaign, but it's a game called Sleeping Gods Primeval Peril, you know. So I do have Sleeping Gods, and I started playing Sleeping Gods. In Sleeping Gods, though, if you're playing solo, you have to play all the characters, and I want to go through that game, but I think I need to play it with more people, you know, because I don't want to have to do the upkeep for all the characters. Now in this one, I think this one just goes up to 2 player. Yes, 1 or 2 players. So I can manage this one, and it's a shorter game. So I definitely want to get that to the table in the next couple months. So that's Sleeping Gods. Like I said, I like exploring. You're lost in this jungle. You're trying to find these totems to get home. And there's these things you're going to deal with, some monsters and all that. So I'm really looking forward to trying this game out. So in 2025. All right. So the game that is coming out in 2025 that I'm excited to play is a little 2-player game. This probably be the one nature theme game that I'm excited about. And it's called Katm. I hope I'm saying that right. And pretty much it's a two-player game where you take on the role of brown bears who are trying to catch salmon on the river. And that's all I know about it. But the fact that it has bears, when I saw that it had bears, I was all in. Because I love bears. So I definitely want to check this game out when it comes out. So the next game is a game that I've been hearing a lot. Well, there's two reasons why I want to try this game out. One, I've heard a lot about it from the brothers Murph, Nick and Mike. They speak highly. I think this is like their number one game, and that is the Prodigals Club. And like my local board game store has a couple copies of this game, so I've been interested in picking it up. And in the Prodigals Club, you are trying to just be a jerk. I mean, pretty much you're trying to get rid of your social status. Now, you've heard us recently talk about obsession, where you are trying to build up your social status in the community. Prodigals Club, you're trying to get rid of that social status in order to win the game. So I definitely want to check this game out. But like I said, the reason it's on the list because there's another game that came out before that, and I found it on the used board game shelf. And I've been, like I said, I've heard it from the brothers Murph, so that is Last Will. And so the theme of Last Will, which I think that's why I want to play it, is pretty much your rich uncle is writing you in his will. The thing is, in order to get the money, he's going to give you a certain amount of money, and you have to be the first to get rid of it. You just got to spend frivolously. And the first person that does that will end up winning the game. So it's kind of like a rags to riches game. And I really want to check this out. It's been spoken highly of. And like I said, I scored this on the used board game shelf. So this game's in the collection. I want to get it to the table in 2025. So the next game that's scheduled to come out in 2025 that I want to check out is Roz. I think that's how you say Roz, the Dance of Love. And I'm attracted to it just by the box cover. Also, that is dice drafting. I really love dice drafting games. And it's a unique theme where you're doing this dance of love, moving dice around. And I mean, like I said, I don't know that much about the game, but looking at the pictures of it, I was like, yeah, I want to check this game out. So that's one of my most excited games to come out in 2025. The last old school game that I want to play in 2025 is a game called Tzolk'in, the Mayan Calendar. Now, this game came out way back in 2012, I believe, and it's hailed as the first in the T games. Teotihuacan is a game I really love. Tawantin Suyu, I really like that game. So, Tzolk'in, the Mayan Calendar is like the old school worker placement game where you're placing your workers out onto these gears and you're spinning the gears in order to take certain actions. And I really want to check this game out, but yeah, like I said, it's so many great games that have come out in past years, and I don't want to get too far forward, always going after the cult of the new. I want to make sure I'm playing the tried and the true, so I can, say I played those games. Now, with that said, the next game is a game, this is the most recent acquisition into the collection, and it's based on a spiritual successor, and it is pretty heavy, and that is Black Forest. Now, Black Forest this is the spiritual successor to Glass Road by Uwe. Both games are by Uwe Rosenberg, and this game is kind of like the continuation where you are trying to build up your glass empire, and you're using these resource wheels to gather resources, traveling from village to village, hiring tradespeople, and like I said, you're just building up your empire. Now, I can get my wife to check this one out because, she really liked another game where you're building up your empire, woodcraft. So I tell her, hey, the theme of this is we're making glass. she might give this a shot. So, and I'm anticipating that. But whether or not she does, I'm definitely getting it to the table in 2025. Probably in the next couple months, of course. Now, the last one is a game that, let me see. Oh, yes. It is a standalone game that's one of my favorite board games. We talked about this in my favorite board games that I don't own. And on that list, there was a game called Rococo. So they have a game that's coming out called La Patisserie Rococo, where instead of us being dressmakers, we are working in a pastry shop. You know, I do love my games that has a culinary thing, you know. And so in this game, we are working in a pastry shop and we're competing against each other to make the best pastries. And I'm all in. From that point on, I'm all in. This probably might be my most anticipated game of that's coming out in 2025. So I'm really excited to try this game out, and that is La Patisserie Rococo. Hope I'm saying that right. You know, don't hold it against me if I'm not. So there you have it. That's 12 games that I'm anticipating getting to the table in 2025. And like I said, some of them coat the new, some of them tried and true, some of them just in the collection on the shelf of shame that need to be played. Now, in the comments below, I know you people are looking forward to the new games, but let me know, is there a game that you have not yet played that you want to get played in 2025? And is there a game on your shelf of shame that you want to get played in 2025? And if you like the contents of this video, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm Dwayne. This has been BlackBoardGaming, and I will see you next time.